Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Proper Take. It's Thursday, March 31st, and we're going to go over yesterday's games and obviously look at today's games and give you out a free pick, maybe two, depending on what we like today, this early in the day anyway. Only 5 games in the NBA today. We're going to start off with the first one, which is the 76ers at the Pistons. Both teams coming into this game healthy. Obviously, 76ers have lost their last 2 games, albeit they did play the Suns and the Bucks, arguably the two best teams in the NBA. So they'll be looking to bounce back here against, not a great Pistons team, even though the Pistons have covered their spread in their last 4 games as underdogs. So they're not exactly doing that bad. Lately, they've gotten a lot of injury players back in their team, but 76ers are -9.5. They're going into this game looking to put some more authority on the league and put their stamp on the league. As I like to say, put a gun in my head, give me 76ers. The next game is going to be the Cleveland Cavs at the Hawks. Both teams have no new injuries coming out for this game. But Hawks do have a chance of getting Gallinari or Bogdanovic back, maybe both. So that will be big for them. Both teams also played last night. Both teams had to travel to Atlanta for this because Atlanta were playing on the road too. If the Hawks do win this game, they'll only be 2 games back on the Cavs because they're in that 10th spot. Cavs are in that 7th spot. Cavs need a win to try and get that guaranteed 6th spot. With only 6 games left. So this is it's a big game as far as where they will finish. I don't see anybody being the Knicks. There's 6 games left. They're 5 games back on the Hawks. So obviously I don't see the Hawks finishing outside of the playoff. I just think both teams are now playing for positioning, which will be more important for the Cavs to not finish in that play-in. The Cavs are +6 in this one. I like the Cavs, but that's not my pick yet. Still haven't decided it. And then we're moving on to the Bucks at the Nets. Both teams healthy for this huge matchup, which is going to be the matchup I'm going to want to watch the most today. Obvious reasons why. Bucks are leading 2-1 on this series for the season, but the Nets did beat them last month in Milwaukee by 3. It was 126-123 was the final score over there. So it looks like the Nets going to definitely finish in the play-in, but the Bucks do have a good chance of finishing first in the East. They are 2 games down on the Heat, but they do have 2 games in hand of the Heat. So if they win both those games, they will overtake the Heat in the number 1 spot. So this game could be a little bit more important to them as far as to what's at stake. Obviously, with this one, I'm really looking forward to seeing Kyrie versus Drew Holiday, that matchup on the court. That's 2 of my favorite point guards in the league to watch them play, just because the way they play. It might not be the most finessed, but just all-round game, defense and offense. So this is going to be a great matchup for that. I do think Giannis is going to have his way in that, in the crease. I mean, I just don't see anyone stopping him for Brooklyn. So I expect him to get at least 30 points tonight and at least 10 rebounds. Be very surprised if he doesn't get another double-double, but I'm surprised most nights he doesn't get a double-double. Moving on to the Clippers game in Chicago. Obviously, Paul George back has given a huge boost to the Clippers. They can't really move much positionally in the standing. They're stuck around that 8th spot in the play-in. The Bulls, on the other hand, are only 2 games above the Cavs in 6, so they'll be desperate to hold on to that 6th spot. It's it started off as the Clippers +4. Sorry, now they're +2. So Looks like there's a lot of money coming in on the Clippers because not much has changed as far as lineups go in that game. So money's coming in on the Clippers there. The last game of the day is going to be the Lakers at the Jazz. I don't know why they keep doing this to the Lakers and putting them on live television. I believe they're going to be the game on TNT after the Bucks-Nets game. They're coming into this game 13.5-point underdog in Utah. I mean, listen, Jazz are on a 5-game losing streak, and they're barely holding on to 6th place with only a 2-game lead over the Timberwolves. So this is a big game for Utah. This is also a must-win game for Utah as far as not only to make sure they cement that 6th spot and don't have to play in the play-in, but also just to give themselves a bit of confidence. I mean, you saw how angry Donovan Mitchell was the other day. He's not happy with the way his team are playing, maybe not the way he's playing. Rudy Gobert needs to be given more shots. I mean, he had 7 points the other night. There's no reason why a player like Rudy Gobert does not have more than 7 points, just freaking hovering around the basket waiting for those rebounds and the putbacks. I mean, let alone alley-oops, layups, or whatever else he might get under the basket. So I'm sure they will utilize him again today. Well, not again today, but today, hopefully. The Lakers have to win to stay in the play-in. I mean, but no LeBron again tonight. They're going to need a miracle to pull off a win in Utah. And do I see a miracle happening? Probably not. Probably not. I see the Jazz winning this game, and a good chance they're going to take this game by the spread. But again, I mean, there's a lot going on in hockey today, and going on to my daily pick of the day, it's tough because there is a lot of games that I like today. I actually like today, both in hockey and in NBA. So I might give you one of each, to be honest. I'm going to give you an underdog in hockey. 10 losing games for the Ducks. 10 straight losing games for the Ducks. Just played Dallas 2 nights ago. And lost to them barely 3-2 when they were winning 2-1 in that game. Got a couple of players back from injury for this one. I know the Stars need a win because they're trying to fight for playoff position. But I'm taking the Ducks. The Ducks are plus 150. And I'm taking the Ducks as my free pick today, my main free pick today in hockey. In NBA, I'm going to go against the grain. And I'm going to take the Chicago Bulls to beat the Clippers. I'm happy to take a -2, but maybe the safer bet would be to take a money line there. So that's the 2 bets for today. Got the Ducks in hockey, the Bulls in NBA. Good luck to everyone out there betting today. And we'll see you back tomorrow for Friday's games.